Every SEO course, every guru, every agency playbook says the same thing. Publish consistent blog content and rankings will come. That advice has made me more money than almost anything else. Because while my competitors waste months blogging, I'm ranking clients in weeks with a completely different content structure. Blog posts are dead, especially for local SEO. And what replaced them is something most agencies don't even know exists. But here's the thing that nobody tells you. That traffic, it's coming from people 3 states away who will never pick up the phone. I had a client who's getting 80,000 visits a month from blog comment on Google Search Console, 80,000, and almost none of them were local. Once I replaced that blog strategy with a 30-page service hub structure, local calls tripled in under a month. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why blog posts fail for local rankings. I'm going to break down the 30-page service hub structure that my 7-figure agency builds for every single one of my clients. And I'm going to show you how AI can create the entire thing faster than you could write a single blog post. Now, I've used this system across 200 or more local businesses since 2016, and it works in over 90% of markets. Take the client who came to us after paying another agency $8,000 a month for blog content. Their monthly reports looked amazing. Traffic charts going up and to the right every single month. The agency was pumping out 2-3 blog posts a week, 5 tips to maintain eye health, 5 myths about LASIK surgery debunked, stuff like that. And the traffic numbers backed it up. It looked like the strategy was working. But the client came to me because they weren't getting any calls. So I pulled up their local rank map. Almost no green dots. And anyone in local SEO knows that if you're not in the top 3, you are invisible. So this client was going to get seen by the fish out in Lake Michigan and no one else. They were invisible in every single neighborhood that actually mattered to them. All of the traffic was coming from out-of-state readers who would never become customers. The blog posts were ranking nationally for informational queries, and none of it was doing a single thing to help rank their Google business profile. So we replaced that blog strategy with the service hub structure I'm about to show you. And here's the aftermap. Green dots everywhere, dominant across the city, top 3 for millions of people in the greater Chicagoland area, a massive increase in calls from actual potential clients. And here's what they didn't see coming. So pull up ChatGPT right now. Search for who's the best LASIK surgeon in Chicago, and ChatGPT is going to recommend them by name. Okay. Now, look for one of those blog-heavy competitors in the same market. ChatGPT doesn't mention them. We have a couple examples of other businesses that are ranking fairly well, but nothing from ChatGPT. The same pages that fixed my clients' local rankings also made them visible to ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google's AI Overview, and all the other ones out there. The blog-heavy competitor is basically invisible. And here's a simple way to think about why. Think about Google's algorithm like a filing clerk. A blog post titled 5 tips for hiring a plumber, well, that gets filed under general plumbing advice. It's a nice article. It might be helpful, but it has absolutely nothing to do with finding a specific business in a specific city. Now, a page titled Emergency Plumber in Houston with detailed service information, local context, and proper structure, that gets filed under Houston Plumber, verified, comprehensive, relevant. So when someone searches plumber near me in Houston, which file is the clerk looking for? Obviously, it's not even close. AI systems like ChatGPT and Google's AI Overview use the same filing logic. They're scanning the web for specific structured information about what a business does and where they do it. A blog post gives them nothing to file. A service page gives them everything. So if blog posts are going in the wrong filing cabinet, what goes in the right one? I mean, the answer is sitting right in front of you. Your Google business profile. Your GBP is your content strategy. So pull up any GBP for a plumber. And we can look at the categories. Plumber, drainage service, heating contractor, septic system service, hot water system supplier, solar hot water system supplier. Now, look at the actual services listed. We have 30 plus individual services. Everything from tankless water heater cleaning, installation, sewer line cleaning, gas line repair, garbage disposal replacement. Google is literally telling you what it wants to see on your website. You don't need to do keyword research. You don't need to do service entity research. You don't need to brainstorm. The answer is right here. Every category becomes a page. Every service becomes a page. That's your sitemap, not a weekly blog calendar. A service hub built directly from the same source Google uses to understand your business. When your website structure matches your GBP structure, Google sees consistency. It sees a real business that actually does what it claims to do. When your website is full of blog posts about general plumbing tips and none of it matches the GBP, Google and AI systems see a disconnect, and that disconnect kills your rankings. Let me prove it to you. So I'm going to come on over to Google and I'm going to search for black dress. And what I see is a bunch of shopping results, sponsored shopping results, and then some additional shopping results, and then here is a bunch of e-commerce websites. Google knows that black dress is a shopping query. Now, if we change this slightly to, say, how to style a black dress, completely different results. Now we have articles, blog posts, YouTube videos, images, style guides. Google knows what its users are looking for. It has more data on this than anyone else on the planet. So based on the keywords people type in, Google knows what they're looking for. So it knows which searches need service provider pages and which ones need informational content. Local service queries like plumber Houston or emergency plumber near me, those are service provider queries. Google is never going to rank a blog post for those searches. It already decided what belongs there. So here's the exact structure my agency builds for every single client. We call it the Core 30. No blog posts. It starts with your homepage. Your homepage targets your primary GBP category plus your city. So if you're a plumber in Houston, your homepage targets plumber Houston. Your title tag must include that service and that city. Your H1 must include that service and that city. That's also going to be what your first paragraph is about, talking to the searcher. And by the way, just quick aside, a few months ago, we analyzed 100 local business websites, and the most common title tag was the word home or the business name. These are just the defaults for the website builders. This is your competition. But okay, next level down, secondary category pages, drainage service Houston, water heater installation Houston, heating contractor Houston, each one targeting that secondary category plus the city name. Then the third level, individual service pages, tankless water heater installation Houston, sewer line cleaning Houston, gas line repair Houston, each one targeting that specific service plus the city. When you're done, you'll have roughly 30 to 40 pages. But 30 pages of random content won't do anything on their own. What makes this work is how the pages connect to each other. And this next part is where most agencies completely miss. Let's talk about the interlinking. Your homepage links down to each of the secondary category pages plus 2 or 3 critical services that you really want to rank for. Each of your secondary category pages links down to all of the service pages relevant to that secondary category. Service pages link back up to the parent category, and secondary category pages link back up to the homepage. This follows the exact same structure as your GBP. And I have this exact chart that my agency uses for this internal linking in my school group. Links in the description if you're interested in joining over 3,000 SEO nerds talking about ranking local businesses. And without this interlinking, you're going to end up with 30 loose pages floating on a website with no relationship to each other. Google sees that and thinks, well, this is just a pile of content. There's no hierarchy. There's no depth. Now, you know what pages to build and you know how to connect them, but the content on each page has to follow a specific pattern or Google won't reward it. Google now cares about just one thing. Did the user get what they came for? They call this goal completion. Google doesn't want people spending 5 minutes on your page. It wants people finding their answer in 5 seconds. If someone searches water heater repair Houston and your page answers their question in the first paragraph, Google will reward that and improve your ranking. If your page starts with a 3-paragraph history lesson about your business before it ever mentions Houston or water heaters, Google will bury it. Let me show you one of the best examples I've seen for goal completion. So I'm going to type in personal injury lawyer Houston, which is a highly competitive search. Okay, so we'll check out #1 ranked for a very highly competitive search, Zell & Associates. Here's where we end up with right on top, experienced, undefeated, personal injury lawyers. Boy, that sounds pretty good. Chat comes up. Houston personal injury lawyers, undefeated, billions won. Why hire our injury lawyers? Boom, 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 boom. Recognized by social proof. See what our clients have to say, testimonials. This is a fabulous way to talk exactly to the person who just typed this query in and show them why you're the right business for them. There's no history lesson about this firm. I can barely remember what the firm's name is. That's not what's important. What's important is making sure the person who lands on this page knows that it's for them. Let me show you another example. I'm going to hit more businesses, and I'm going to go to this one all the way here at the bottom. And what do we have here? This is not the same, right? Everyone will do a free case evaluation. That's not unique. Finding the best attorneys starts with blah, blah, blah. That's not convincing me. We do have some reviews, great. But the video reviews are buried. And then straight into a history lesson about the business. For each Service Hub page, there are 3 elements that control your ranking that are very important. First is your title tag. It needs to include the service plus the city, tankless water heater installation, Houston. Second, your H1. It needs to also include the service and city, but also start talking to the person who landed on the page. Third, and this one really matters, your first paragraph. It has to answer the searcher's question immediately. If someone searches emergency plumber Houston, the first sentence on the page needs to talk directly to them because obviously they're having a problem if they typed emergency plumber Houston into Google. Okay, so we're not going to start with the story. We're not going to start with a definition of emergency plumbing. We're not going to start with a history lesson about your business. It's going to be the answer right there, why they should call you, what makes you different, first sentence, and not vague platitudes. So think about what you're up against. Pull up any search in a mid-sized city right now. Choose a service, plumber, HVAC, roofer, whatever, and you can look at the top local competitors' websites. Their homepage will often have stock photos or AI-generated photos, a paragraph about how they're committed to excellence, and a phone number. Maybe they have 5 or 6 pages total, a homepage, an about page, a contact page, and then maybe a couple of generic service pages that try to cover everything at once. No individual service pages, no category pages, no interlinking structure, nothing that matches their GVP. But now you have the structure, you have the interlinking, you know what goes on each page. In markets around 500,000 people or smaller, this system works over 90% of the time because the competition literally just isn't doing it. And this system gives Google and AI systems exactly what they're looking for: topical relevance, geographical relevance, and trust, all in one structure. But building out 30 pages of locally specific content takes time if you're doing it manually. So I built an AI tool that creates this entire Core 30 structure for you. It takes your GVP data and outputs every page, every interlink, every title tag, the same structure my agency charges thousands to build. So watch this video right here where I walk through exactly how this tool works.